Hey, yo, what's going on with it once again? Bros, women, bronies, and pegasisters, the one, the only, of course, Mr. Nintendo Sony Free 2011, aka Chris and the Guy 2009. Of course, you guys invested in intro before it began. Definitely check out FreeNumber.com and, of course, SubNotices.net. If any people want to check out of a professional channel, banner, design, and or picture professionally made and or drawn scene for you, I'll put their link to their YouTube channel, of course, obviously their own homepage, website. This partnership I ever had. And of course, last but not least, Google them if you want. And before we begin, unfortunately, I have a little bit of bad news that I am sadly going to have to quit this little My Little Pony Adventures Magic Crime and Funishment reading chapter I've been doing for the past, I think it's January. I've only did it once or twice a month. Chapters on here and verses. I did maybe 20 verses on this thing in about 4 chapters. And there's still 4 more verses and about 38 verses and 4 other chapters to go. So I think I'm probably going to call this quits because of 3 reasons. Number 1, pretty much nobody gives a crap about this video, so about this little mini series I've been doing. So yeah, I gotta pretty much put a nail in the coffin to this one. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put it in my unfinished box of My Little Pony Adventures Magic comic dubs and fanfic readings. So this is the last one that you're probably gonna be watching if anyone even does watch this video. Maybe because it's super long, maybe they're not really interested in it, or maybe it's because maybe my voice acting skills aren't the best, but at least I try. And before I do keep moseying along, just give me 1 second to get my water because I am thirsty as all hell, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second. And I'm back. So, without further ado, one last time, let's begin. This is chapter 4 out of 8. There was only 8 chapters, so at least the good news was at least I got through half of it. So, yeah, let's begin. Let me exit real quick. And, yeah, here we go. Crime and Punishment. Chapter 4. And the first verse, and I'm going to actually read this as quick as I can, but if not, it's all good. And I already put all the 8 chapters for you anyways, or 9, I think. I forgot it was 8 or 9. Yeah, here we go. So 4th chapter. Okay, define the great plan. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have the energy to do voices on here, but I'm going to have to occasionally be drinking water, and here we go. Alright, now it's good. Here it is. Says, wait a moment. Moneybags frowned and his eyes locked with Twilight. What about a dragon? Huh? Twilight blinked. You dragon. You talked about what you and your 5 pony friends did. Mention your mailbox, right? And I'll read all the verses for this one too, since it's gonna be the last one I read for this chapter. Oh yeah, shout out to Agron that made this whole entire chapter series of 8 to 9 chapters. Check the dude out. Really amazing. Writer for sure, author. A dragon you talked about in your 5 pony. I read that. Spike. Spike? Twilight shook her head. Oh well, he wasn't doing anything important. Cleaning the house, buying some groceries, cooking, I figure I didn't need to explain it. Huh. Moneybags tapped his hoof and his table. So you felt the urge to explain in detail how you argued about who would sleep in which room. But you decided to leave the baby dragon completely out of it. Yeah, that's kind of pretty normal. Moneybags blinked. What? Spike being in the background. Twilight rolled her eyes. Honestly, I don't know where to 90% of the time. I don't know where he is 90% of the time I spend adventuring. I usually assume he's hiding under a table. She licked her lips. True, there are exceptions, but those usually happen because the adventure involves him specifically. Whatever she says, whenever we go on a real adventure, like the ones in which all 6 of us participate to save the world, he's just, Twilight shrugged. I don't know. He disappears. That's Moneybags cough. You know I'm an economist, and I even find that cruel. That truth hurts. Twilight shook her head. As I said, Spike really didn't do anything while we were preparing for any of this stuff this week. I mean, he's useful because he can breathe fire, but It doesn't mean any racers or the training, so he just stood there. So you're asking me to assume he was hiding on the table? Or cooking, wait. Or kicking, yes. That's mostly it. Twilight looked on the other side. So let's forget Spike completely. Now moving on to the important parts, and the next morning, we were all pretty tired, and apparently not even a good night's sleep was enough to get over our first day in Canterlot. So yesterday was completely wasted? Twilight asked, levitating a spoonful of cereal in her mouth. You didn't do anything at all? Well, I wouldn't say we didn't do anything, Fluttershy replied, looking at Rainbow Dash. We stood all day front in the casino. Yeah, sure, we accomplished a lot, Rainbow Dash grouched. We literally got to a stupid place 17 times in a row. Okay. And you didn't even get past the treasure holds. That gives me hope about this whole plan, Rarity said. Would you fly to the gods? Maybe if you did tell them you had gorgeous eyes or something, I'd let you pass. And Fluttershy said, he wore sunglasses, Fluttershy said. Ooh, clever. Rarity took a sip of tea and her eyes dwindled. Oh, Spiky, did you make this? Yes, ma'am. Spike poked his head from the kitchen door. Just for you. Oh, and I might do a second part, and just in case I get distracted, just letting people know. Just putting it out there. Okay. Well, I must say, I'm very grateful. Rarity took another sip. This is really good. You should make tea more often. Spike giggled and tried to hide his blush by looking at the floor. Kind of useless now, but because all could see his face, but he tried away. Aw, it's nothing. No, really, this is very good. Rarity and Applejack looked with a coy smile. You should try it. Eh? Applejack looked at the red-faced fence dragon in the kitchen. You make it taste like apples? Spike blinked and still blushed. I think. Good. All right, I might try it. Applejack squinted at Rarity. My. Oh, please, Applejack, stop trying to sabotage our robbery, Rarity said to the cup of the tea in the back of the table. I can't believe you're still acting like this. Oh no, this is Pinkie Pie now. Apple Flavor tea sounds really good, Pinkie Pie said after swallowing the 1,000 cupcakes and up in that center that morning. That will help us a lot, right, Rarity? Twilight? I guess, Twilight shrugged. If Rarity thinks Applejack needs to learn how to drink tea, I'm actually surprised she didn't bring any apples sooner. Yeah, Pinkie Pie chuckled. Indeed, you convinced Applejack to lots of things. You just need to throw an apple at her. Hey! AJ frowned at them. You two! Oh no, this is Applejack now. Hey! AJ frowned at them. You two! I'm a known dog that wags her tails at the trees. And then it says for Rarity. Ah, and that's a good thing, Rarity said, because you're not going to taste any apples while I'm still alive, dear. Yeah, you heard the white what? Applejack turned around to face Rarity. Why not? I want apples. Rarity arched an eyebrow. So, you're not getting any. Apple tea is just such an old news, not even vintage. If you ask for that in the casino, you can bet your hat of yours your cover will be blown immediately. Dash blinked. Blown? Oh, yeah, that's it. She grabbed Fluttershy by the shoulders with a huge grin. Shy! I knew how we're getting in. And they said, You're not detonating the casino, Dash, Twilight said. Oh, come on! Rainbow Dash crossed her legs and make a huff. It'll be faster trying to fool the guards, right, Fluttershy? And Fluttershy says, Fluttershy bit her lip. Do I really have to have an opinion on this? Dash, dear, Rarity said. Even if such a plan wasn't completely and utterly irresponsible, which it is, I really doubt any of us knows how to find the dynamite. And I don't know who says that. Oh, I know. Rarity blinked her eyes. Oh, it was Pinkie Pie. Ooh, I know, no. Rarity blinked her eyes. Okay, yes, Pinkie knows how to do that, but I'm definitely going to ignore that fact, and I really think you should do the same. And it says, Please, girls, Dash waved a hoof. Wasn't going anything for the dynamite. I'm not that dumb. And kill the main surprise, Applejack muttered under her breath. No, what was I thinking about? What I was thinking about? A thundercloud, and we set it to the thing. Oh yeah, thundercloud. Then we set to the casino with it, and no, Twilight said. Oh darn it! Hey, Applejack shook her head. You have a problem, and your immediate solution is to set it on fire? You're a fed brain. Oh yeah? What am I? Well, at least my mission is actually interesting. You're failing to drink tea. I'd like to see you try. Ha! Rainbow Dash got up from her chair and flew across the table till she could press her forehead against Applejack's. Bring it on! Incoming, Spike appeared in the room wearing his pink apron and carrying a tray with steaming teacups. Here you go, chameleon tea, the finest quality. Ooh, you made a chameleon tea. A chameleon tea, too, Rarity clapped. Good one. Thanks, Spike giggled. I always thought it was very good. Indeed. Oh, no. Indeed it is. Maybe Applejack will like this one better. I wonder. Piff. Applejack rolled her eyes. I'd rather drink lava. Okay, let's see. Okay then. Dash turned away from AJ and took one of the cups with a hoof. Let's see. Let me show you how it's done, cowgirl, she said, and then she poured the whole thing in her mouth in one go. Silence. Applejack turned to Pinkie. Do you mind, Sugar Cube? Oh, of course. Pinkie Pie took a watch under the table and looked at it. Okay, so when we're up to 5, 4, 5, 6. And it says, ah! Pinkie Pie threw her watch over her shoulder. 6 seconds! AJ nodded. Thanks. Ah! Spike bit his lips. Sorry? It's not your fault, Spike, Twilight said, eating another spoonful of cereal. She brought this onto herself. Oh, my. Fluttershy covered her mouth with her hooves and flew towards Rainbow Dash. Dash, are you alright? Oh, she turned to Shy. Does this look alright to you? My tongue is melting. And it says, yep, ain't definitely showing how it's done. Shut up! Dash slammed a hoof onto the table, looked at Applejack with tearful eyes. At least I managed to drink it. Yeah, and now you're screaming. Pretty much sure I'll win, Sugar Cube. No, don't, Rainbow Dash replied. At least I'm brave enough to gulp that thing like it's nothing. Applejack's smirk disappeared and frown took on his place. Are you saying I'm a coward? She turned around. Spike, bring me one of the cups. Spike scratched the back of his head. Are you sure you... Of course I am. Without waiting for an answer, she walked towards Spike and took one of the steaming teacups on there. I'll show you, Dash. And then she poured the whole thing into her mouth in one gulp. Silence. Pinkie got the watch again. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah! 7.5. Pinkie Pie clapped. New record. Dash ran both her hooves her ring. Oh, come on! Ah! Applejack took a deep breath. That'll teach you. I won't. Silence. Rarity arched an eyebrow. So, was it worth it or not? Dear Celestia, definitely wasn't my tongue melting. And it says, my tongue melted too. Oh, pony feathers. When will this pain stop? And who will read this one? Okay. Are you sure I need to team up with Applejack? Because I get nagging feeling and being tied to a brick wall and asked to run a race, metaphorically speaking, Rarity said, turning to Twilight and taking another sip of tea. Besides, I'm pretty sure those two would get along with each other perfectly, darling. I think maybe should go to a doctor, Fluttershy said. Those might develop into some serious burning scars if we don't treat them well. I won't go no doctor just because some pants the tables, huh? Same here. Silence. Rarity took another sip of tea. I stand corrected. And it says for there. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, but we can't change teams like this, Twilight answered, chewing on her cereal. I doubt Fluttershy has any training on to become a lady. She's perfect the way she is. Aww, Pinkie Pie smiled at Twilight. That was sweet, wasn't it, Fluttershy? And then Fluttershy says, seriously, I think their tongues might have suffered some permanent damage. Fluttershy said, not turning her gaze away from Aging R.D. Rainbow Dash. We should really go see a doctor. Pinkie Pie nodded. Yep, that's so sweet. And it said for Spike, okay, so now if you'll excuse me, I'll hide the teacups just in case they end up hurting somebody else. Wait, Sheriff, say one. No, this is Rarity now. Be sure to save one for me, Rarity said, and one for Applejack, too. I'm not getting in near that stuff ever again. She'll drink it in the evening, Rarity said. I'm sure she'll love it once it starts blinding her with pain. Sure. Spike disappeared into the kitchen, but his voice could still be heard. I'll put them in the fridge. Thanks, dear. Twilight played with the last crumb of cereal with her plate and eventually pushed it aside. Pinkie, what time is it? She asked, turning around from the face. About 9. 9. And you should go soon, Spike, Twilight said at the kitchen. It's about time. Got it. And then, let's see. And that goes the same for you girls. Pinkie Pie and I are going down to the laboratory soon. Sweet! Pinkie Pie grinned. I love chickens, Rarity frowned. What? Nothing so. Twilight clapped her hooves twice. Do you girls think you'd be able to take the casino and not mastering Canterlot's way of thinking today? We need to stop Moneybags as soon as possible, and we can't start until you make it. Well, Fluttershy turned around in her face. It's going to be hard, but that guard is very smart. And I gotta take this drink really fast because my throat is extremely killing me. I think we're in almost 20 minutes. Almost 18 minutes so far. Okay. And in all honesty, I think teaching Applejack how to lie would be easier than to teach her how to be a proper lady. Twilight said, frowned. That's problematic. Nonsense! Pinkie Pie grabbed Twilight by the shoulder. I know they can make it. If there's anybody who can do this, it's them, right, girls? Well, Fluttershy scratched the back of her neck. I guess if we really try... Of course we'll make it! Rainbow Dash yelled, suddenly flying towards Twilight and Rarity and puffing her chest. We'll fool that guard so he won't know what hit him. You really like that yell? Yes! And he'll turn you into a lady. Applejack roared, jumped on the table, and glared daggers at Dash. In fact, I'll be one of the ladies, and the lady folk before Rainbow Dash even talks to that guard. Oh, well, it is on. And says, one day we'll be able to do something about this turning into a competition, Rarity said, casting a side glance towards Fluttershy. I can't stress it enough how much longer I can last for that moment. That's exactly the spirit we're going for, Rarity. Pinkie Pie flashed one of those smiles of hers that made it look like she was going to either plan something cunning and exciting or like she was going to be a gigantic pile of candy. Hot blood, passion, determination. That's all we need to be going for. A nice pile of candy tree sail bike, right, Spike? Spike winked at her from the side, and the giant pyramid of the sweets was carrying across the room. I can't wait to eat even more tonight, Pinkie Pie muttered to herself. Anyways, determination. That's a good thing. I guess, Rarity said. Nah, you don't guess. Applejack bared his teeth in a fierce smile. We're going to do this, sure cute. By the end of the day, we'll be done. Aw, yeah. We too, Rainbow Dash roared. We too are doing this. Moneyback smirked. Let me guess. They failed? Of course they failed. For hours at end, the four of them were sitting in Donut Joe's staring blankly at their drinks. Moneybags sighed. Well, that was predictable. And, hey, Twilight frowned. Don't say that. My friends are amazing ponies. And that they can do anything that they set their mind to. We did end up attacking the casino, right? Yes, and now you're tied to a chair. Twilight bit her tongue. Anyways, Moneybags continued. What about the dragon? You said he had to go somewhere. Care to explain? Dear Celestia, why are you so focused on Twilight? Alright. No pony ever focuses on Spike, ever. Twilight rolled her eyes. Not even the crystal ponies that care about him that much. The Moneybags squinted. I thought they made a giant statue of him. Yes, but they still manage to forget him every 2 days. Wow, that's cruel. The thing is, Twilight continued to shake her head, that Spike was buying some groceries or whatever, and Pinkie Pie and I were brewing potions. That meant that Fluttershy, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity went into Donut Joe's. I can't believe that stupid girl said no 23 times. Oh no, I can't believe that stupid girl said no 23 times. Dash looked sudden and fierce and bit her donut. It's impossible to get up there. Oh, come on, it can't be that hard, Applejack said, putting Dash's shoulder. Maybe you just had a bad start. Yeah, sure, a bad start, Rainbow Dash sighed. We've tried a bazillion aliases. All of them were deemed dangerous. And only 15 included references to explosions, Fluttershy asked. I can't believe I don't understand you, dear, Rarity said, taking a bit of biscuit. Being kicked out of every single elegant place in Canterlot. Me, kicked out. Can you believe that? Even believe that? But what happened? Fluttershy asked, a corner to mouth of curled down, her ears flat against her head. What went wrong? Hey! Aside from not being to hide her accent, even if her life depended on it, let's just say not cut for any elegant palace, Rarity sighed. The Golden Reef outright refused to serve us after they saw her grabbing her cruelty with her hooves. I'm our pony, Applejack frowned. Excuse me. I know, but there's no excuse to be unelegant, dear. There's literally no way for me to grab the coat tree. I'm Applejack here, Dash said. Fancy pants is horrible. And hey, at least you got in there, didn't you? Joy, Applejack muttered. Canterlot is such a mean place sometimes, Fluttershy agreed and playing with the straw in her drink. I miss Ponyville. We all do, dear. We all do, even if I'm getting tired of the finest places. Sometimes I forget how charming Ponyville can be. Well, we're doing this for the good cause, Applejack muttered, biting her apple and wagging her tail a little bit. And that's a relief, I guess. Fluttershy frowned. Say, girls, what if we help each other? Dash raised her eyes. What? And let's see. You need to practice being in a fancy place, right, Rarity? Fluttershy tapped her chin twice. And the casino is very elegant. Well, yes, Rarity nodded. We're practicing a big fancy because this casino is elegant, in fact. And then it all works out, right? Fluttershy said. You can help us get into casino then, and then we'll be... And then we'll be promptly kicked out, Rarity said. It's better nothing than nothing, I guess. Better than nothing, I guess. Applejack nodded. Sounds like a plan to me. Rarity took another bit of a biscuit. Well, just let me do the talking. I'm sure I'll be able to manage. The guard at the casino went to a different one that day. It was a different one that day. What Rarity and company had in front of the windows was a brown Pegasus now. Still, her cerulean, I have no idea how to say that. I think it's her cerulean. Of course, but that was a given. When all they were doing is walking on a door, he looked at all of them from above top of his dark sunglasses. "Names?" he asked. Rarity flashed a warm smile. "Hello, dear. My name is White Pearl. My friends and I," she pointed at Fluttershy, "Autumn Breeze," she pointed at Applejack, "Sugar Cube," she pointed at Dash, "and this is Roaring Tornado," Dash interrupted, grinning like crazy and ignoring Rarity's death glare. "See, we're fancy. Open that door." "So your name is Roaring Tornado, huh?" the guard snickered. "Well then, I'm sorry to hear that, but..." "Why, yes, of course, dear. Roaring Tornado, the famous racing prodigy. Haven't you heard of her, mister?" Her warm smile comes back. "She's Soaring's niece. Fresh from the Wonderbolt Academy. Every pony knows she's going to take the Canterlot by storm." Rarity fluttered her eyes and cocked her head to the side. "I'm her agent, you see." Sorry about all the screaming and yelling, people. My bad, guys. Anyways, hopefully we can keep it moving. Let's see. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. So it says, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Almost lost my freaking spot because of that. Like I said, I might do a second part, who knows? Rainbow Dash rolled her eyes. "Soaring's not in Miss Rarity. Every pony knows that." Silence. Every pony stared at Dash. She blinked at, I mean, like, Soaring is totally my uncle. But like the best uncle ever," she gulped. "Oh no. I mean, like, sure, it's totally my uncle, but only like the best uncle ever," she gulped. "And, you see, your eyes are totally awesome." 12 minutes later, they were back at the casino with a new combo for fur dye for fluffy dresses. "Hello," Rarity said, walking upon the door. "Nice to meet you, Mr. God." "Names?" "Of course, I'm Inkdweller. This is Gentlewind. And this is Fruit Flower." She pointed at Dash. "And she is named Featherhead." The Guardian squinted and looked at Rainbow. "And, why is she wearing a muzzle exactly?" Rarity didn't even blink into the question. "Malicious reasons." Grope. I don't even know how to say it. Silence. The guard shrugged. I ain't no pony to talk about fashion, but you in, kid." "Well, let that be a lesson for the ages," Rarity muttered as the doors closed behind him. "If you fail at something, it's probably Rainbow Dash's fault. And you should gag her for that." Wow, that's pretty hardcore. The others wouldn't have something to say. They were too busy staring at the casino. Moneybags was a mischievous banker and a soulless villain, but he had good taste in interior design. The gang was greeted by the biggest room out of any of them seen out of the palace. A place completely crowded with ponies for all ages, colors, and races possible. Pegasi, unicorn, oak ponies, crystal ponies, and bat ponies. There even was a giant tub in the middle of the place where a couple of sea ponies were in it. Oh, that's pretty cool how you put that in there. The room had countless blinking lights, game tables, slot machines, croupiers, and... let's see. "I know what my casino looks like." Ooh, silence. Twilight nodded to herself. "So, do you want me to describe it to you anyways?" "No!" "I'm going to describe it anyways." You seem to be unaware of ramifications of this whole place with your friend business, princess." Twilight beamed to smile. "So, as I was saying about the casino, or at least part of it was seen, as it was actually being said in a crowd. Not as Ponyville's Bank. Not as the Ponyville's banks, but it could easily be giving it a run for its money. The roof was high enough for Pegasus to fly around freely, and of course that included many security guards easily recognizable for both their sunglasses and their "I just ate a lemon" scowl. And it says the floor was completely covered with smooth red velvet carpet. There was columns of periodicals, and the walls were golden with posters and photos of celebrities and moneybags. And overall, the place looked like a cathedral. Only which thingy noises insisted on prayers. They had the game section in front of them, and by their right, they could see the restaurants. They stood in the places of silence for 1 or 2 minutes, completely motionless. Wow, Fluttershy finally murmured for her breath just once, assimilating what was in front of her jaws. Just, wow. I think my farmers live smaller than this. Applejack commented, her pupils becoming more dots. Rarity blinked. It does look less impressive from the outside. Dash rolled her eyes and took the muzzle off. Ugh, I'm never wearing this thing again. She walked towards Rarity and leaned on her. And this place is not that big. I've seen bigger places. Like the castle, right? She turned around and looked at Fluttershy. The castle's bigger. Yeah, but still, this feels like... Applejack frowned. Well, you know. Scary? Fluttershy asked. Ominous? Vast? Spine-chilling? Dreadful? Inevitable? Depraved? Horrible? AJ squinted. Pretty darn big. Oh, Fluttershy blinked. Yeah, that one too. Come on! Rainbow Dash waved a hoof and stuck her tongue out. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to have to come here and for a lot if we want to map this out anyways, Fluttershy. Fluttershy, you better bring us to get used to it. Fluttershy's ears were flat again on her head. Oh, dear. I'm afraid she's right, Fluttershy, Rarity said, not bothering her to look at others, too focused on what was going on in front of her. However, you don't need to do this alone, of course. I suggest we avoid talking to any pony. Just look like snobbish and follow my lead. Oh my gosh! Rainbow Dash opened her eyes and flew a couple of meters in. Is that Spitfire? Say what? Zoom. Silence. Rarity squinted, looking into the slot machines. Please tell me Rainbow Dash did not just run away. Applejack looked at Rarity and then Fluttershy and Rarity up again. She didn't run away. Good. Silence. She totally flew away, didn't she? Faster than apple blooms on a brown day. Pony feathers. And then after that says, there's a funny thing. Alright. There's this funny thing about Pegasi. Some ponies think that they're naturally dumb, and others think there's pony natural races. And everydayness of terms like featherbrain, lighthead, and dumb as Pegasus. I mean, if you haven't heard some pony meant dumber, then I mean, come on. And such sureness doesn't help. But Pegasi are not that dumb, honestly. They're just some smarter than as every other kind of pony. However, if this is true, more of them are not. Pegasus training of the thought works in a way that they do not end up looking incredibly heroic if they succeed, or painfully stupid if they fail. Pegasi are, after all, too fast for their own good. Sometimes their bodies act on their own before its brains can measure up with the consequences of what they're doing. In other words, they're not stupid, they're just unable to think things through. So continuing with this metaphor, it's easy to see why Rainbow Dash did what she did that day. It's not like she didn't know that flying towards Spitfire was disgusting in a disguise. Trying to go incognito was stupid. It's just that by the time that they thought that the plans were starting to move towards her blank, she was already flying across the casino, screaming like a wild animal. Spitfire! To say she screamed would be a huge understatement. What came out of her mouth was one of those screeches only true fangirls can expel. The three ponies, unfortunately, are unfortunate enough to be near her when she blurted out the shriek, and the one had to go to the hospital due to ear damage. And at least the noble pony she saw in her glass of wine exploded into a million tiny pieces. Spitfire! Hello! Spitfire! Spitfire turned around to see who was demanding her attention with passion immediately, both because she was polite enough to at least acknowledge crazy fans, and because a pony with such a lung capacity was either very excited to see her or 20 feet tall and ready to avenge her father. Not like Spitfire had slain any giants lately, but better be safe than sorry, that was her motto. Once she saw Rainbow Dash, the relief was immediate. Why, hello, she said. I'm sorry, do I know you? What? Of course, it's me, And right then and there, the thought finally made Rainbow Dash's brain turn on. Oh yeah, yesterday she was supposed to be not Rainbow Dash. She stood there for 2 seconds, staring awkwardly into space, and her brain simulated what was going on. Spitfire didn't look away, and Rainbow Dash gulped. 3 more seconds passed. Dash's brain went into overdrive. Okay, so she's messed it up badly. And then they were all looking at her. She thought this was the good time to tell Rarity was not here to go out into the table. Good. No problem. She could do it. She could totally get out of here and avoid getting caught and making a fool out of herself in front of her hero. Oh dear Celestia, they were still staring at her, and she was trying to fool them not into doing this. Oh Luna, she had to say something before she was going to be kicked out. And in front of Spitfire, when that Rarity came out into Rainbow Dash, and hold on. I don't know what's going on with this battery thing. Alright, there we go. Turned on into Rainbow Dash. And I completely lost my spot. Damn it. And oh Luna, she had to say something. She was going to be kicked out in front of Spitfire. This was going to Rarity. Oh, come on, Dash. Come on. Spitfire arched her eyebrows. So, are you going to... I'm not a terrorist, I swear. Silence. Dash bit her lip. I'm Soren's niece. Pause. Alright, and the pause is done. It says, every pony kept staring at Dash, even Spitfire, especially Spitfire. Rainbow Dash, you know, out of curiosity, is there any perhaps chance you're not going to call the guards on me now? No, figures. At least following Rainbow Dash's advice wasn't as difficult as it could have been. Even though she could fly so fast, once she had trouble seeing herself in the midair. Fluttershy and Applejack had clearly seen the directors that she had headed for, and after that, Dash had screamed like a filly visiting the dentist for the first time in her life. Stealthily, she hadn't been chosen. However, not everything could be easily met. She's not here, Rarity muttered to the other two once they arrived in the poker table and Spitfire was playing. There was no sign of Dash whatever. I can't believe it! She continued to try not to stand between her gamblers. She wanders off, and then she wanders away from the point when she wanders into and out in the first place. Who does that? As Applejack's voice says, I'll find it reassuring. Applejack whispered back, trying to hide her smirk. It's like one of them dogs that can constant little things make it how hard it is. Dogs go wool, gawk so quiet. Rainbow Dash is dumber than a sack of bricks. That's the circle of life. Applejack there, I'm not really sure this is the best time to laugh at her, Rarity said. I'm a little worried about Dash. I think that we should try and find her. What? Why? Applejack arched an eyebrow. She's wandering around the casino, drowned in man. Wasn't that the plan all along? Yes, but you remember correctly. A plan also involves Fluttershy being there. Sure doesn't end up in trouble. She looks at Shy. I don't like being here alone. Me neither, Fluttershy said, nodding. We should definitely look for her. Alright, should definitely look for her. I can draw the map too while we're at it. Oh, okay, I'll guess so. AJ shrugged. How do we do it? Rarity tapped her chin. I'll go to the restaurant. Applejack, you go for her. Here, the gamblers won't talk to you if you don't talk back. A pause. Try not to talk. Oh, I know. No peasants allowed. Bunch of snot-nosed snooters. Rarity nodded. Good. Try to observe how they talk. Maybe I learned something. Fluttershy? Oh, I'll look here. I'll look for here. Fluttershy, she said, pointing at the northwest part of the casino. It looks like a good place. The store? Okay. Well then, we'll meet back here in an hour, whether you like it or not, AJ said. Sound like a plan? Yes. And y'all know what to do. Y'all remember, she's painted orange, and she has white mane. Our attention has been too focused on the four friends. It says on the four friends and their ancestry lately, so perhaps it would be a good idea to talk about their ponies frequently in a casino now. After all, they play an important part of the story. To say that they were fancy would be an understatement, and of course, everything related to Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Fluttershy, Applejack had happened due to the fact that the casino was a very elite place. However, maybe an explanation as to why they were so uptight would be useful. After all, none of the elements of Harmony plus Spike were strangers to the Elegant Palace, or places. They hadn't been to the Grand Galloping Gala, for example, but the two casinos were different. And the difference was that they came out for simple issues. Grand Galloping Gala was a place to socialize. Moneybags was a place to play. But of course, the games they played weren't kind of fun. Exciting games normal ponies like to play. Oh no, noble ponies hated fun. They were stressful. Yeah, they were very stressful, corrupted games that the noble ponies went there to either earn a little money, something that never happened, or to waste an entire fortune. Something that happened a lot. A casino wasn't a place to fit Candlelight at all. Okay. And beating actual money, playing slot machines, that wasn't just unelegant. That was downright outrageous. And, worst of all, it was addictive in certain ways. I gotta get this drink. The casino was a totally opposite of fancy place, technically speaking. However, by being an elitist, it would come certainly to go that they can get it. Moneybags Casino had managers to turn their entire businesses into the biggest guilty pleasures of the Cancelot have ever seen. But even though there were every single noble pony there, except for the occasional bratty Pegasus now and then, felt like gambling and playing cards was absolutely unworthy of them at all. That they couldn't exactly stop doing it just like this. After all, every pony was doing it, right? As a result, this was unusually oxymoron. The casino was a sophisticated place, but every pony thought it wasn't. So when they eventually went there, they acted in most of the uptight, stuck-up, snobbish way possible to distance themselves from a vulgarity, efficiently turning casino into a more sophisticated spot. In other words, it wasn't the healthiest of places. Call me crazy, but I think you got a feeling that you really don't like my casino, Moneybag said, rolling his eyes. Seriously, you don't think it's unworthy? It is that the word you're looking for. I'm actually amazed that you go all the way saying my business is scandalous or something. Hey, I'm just telling it like it is, Twilight said. The corners of her mouth rose up a little bit. I'm sorry if it offends you, but that's the truth. Oh yes, I forgot you're an absolute expert at casinos and ability. Moneybags looked at it like he was relaxed and he wanted to spit. How rude of me. I was born and raised in Canterlot, yes, but I know I'm more about nobility than you. Plus, I'm a princess. And you surely love casinos, huh? Twilight arched herself an eyebrow. I don't hate them, per se. I'm just amazed that you created an institution so that they could scam ponies out of their money, even if more efficiently than your banks. Moneybags waved his hoof. That's what talent means, doesn't it? Sure. Yeah, sure. To put it lightly, they walked in across the casino and was swimming away to piranhas with a fancy top hat and bow ties. And yet, not piranha. Yeah, it was piranha. But piranhas nonetheless. Luckily for every pony, though, Rarity was the best piranha swimmer in the equestrian zone. Metaphorically speaking, literally speaking too, of course, but that's another story that shall be told for another time. This was giant circles, stages next to the restaurant. Rarity noticed, of course, that there was no way to get to the palace so fancy that they would have dinner without a show. A group of 4 ponies were playing classically at the musical moments of the notice, and publicly seems pretty much indifferent towards them. The restaurant was big, but after a 20-minute long wait, it was clear that Dash wasn't sitting at a table, so Rarity headed towards the bar. No pony looked at her twice. Acting like a noble pony, she was second nature to her. The bar consisted of a giant counter with a bunch of ponies walking around drinking, and a place with much more crowded than a restaurant, and that the crowd was settled around just one particular green Pegasus wearing a black suit and tie. And I thought I'd already had 8 kittens and 8 evil sake. Why not set fire to orange too? Moneybags was saying, sparkling about laughter from the crowd. Alright. Yes, I'm finally sure I said that, Moneybags interrupted. Twilight rolled her eyes. Okay, gee whiz. When Moneybags was actually saying something, and I drastically and disasterdly tied my fair maiden and twirled my rules in evil moustache, knowing that no pony would come to save her. Mwahaha! I was taking finances. Twilight grumbled. Ooh, this video's probably going to be almost 2 hours, so sorry guys. Finances, 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 Moneybags said. And every pony laughed. Rarity shook her head, and Moneybags, pathetic and humorous, but she didn't walk away. On the contrary, she had fake laughs and joined the crowd. Oh, Mr. Moneybags, she said, fluttering, you always tell the funny stories. Well, being a good conversationalist is part of my job. It's all about. Moneybags replied, smirking. Well, that and massive amounts of money for my own benefit, and the treatment of others. Mostly being funny, a bit, though. I'm extremely evil, he screamed. A couple of seconds passed. So, you going to interrupt me too here, or what? What? Moneybags frowned. Oh, no. That's part of the surprising accuracy. Oh. The crowd laughed again at Moneybags' words, and Rarity just smiled and kept looking at him. To understand what happened next, one needs to know one simple thing. All the mares of Ponyville, Rarity is by far the most beautiful one. And then it says, the only one who even comes close to her is Fluttershy, and she has been a professional model once. Thus, it's no surprise that even the fact that he was talking with many ponies at once, Moneybags soon noticed Rarity, and then Rarity made sure Fluttershy was a very practicable fashion that usually came out of all stallions to go over heels for her. Whoa, wait a minute! Moneybags shook his head. You're telling me Rarity was the pretty one? Twilight arched her eyes. Yes, of course. She was painted cyan by that point, I think. Moneybags ran a roof across his mane. Huh! I thought you were going to tell me she was one of the other ones. The other? Twilight arched an eyebrow. What? Well, I was thinking about to speak of the pretty one. She said Rarity, you say? Around the mare come out of nowhere and start screaming at me. And it says, I'll kick your ass for absolutely no reason. The random mare yelled as she charged Moneybags, foaming at the corners of her mouth. Because a mindless sociopath that can understand your greatness and doesn't see how insanely beautiful you are. Oh, great, you are great, Moneybags. Ah, you're talking about that mare? Twilight asked, cocking her head to the other side. And it says, then her face changed in a particular smirk plus brownish eyebrows, doing a thing where it is twitching, a trick she learned from Applejack and Scott. You changed a bit, didn't you? Ever since the day you burnt my village, the mare said, screaming and charging towards Moneybags. I've been looming for this moment to suffer my revenge. Moneybags, this is all the anguish you've caused. Oh, so she was... I don't even know what it says. Oh, so she was one of your burnt my village ones. I guess that explains why I forgot her. Moneybags chuckled. I always get them mixed up. How embarrassing. You get them mixed up? How many villages have you burnt to the ground? I lost count long ago, Moneybags replied, waving a hoof. You know, it's just another hobby of mine. Nothing that important. You're literally destroying ponies' lives for entertainment. Yeah. Moneybags arched an eyebrow, and burning random villages one to litter pot. I also want to cause flood by messing up dams, and sometimes they draw mildly annoying graffiti on the walls, so don't belong to me. Silence. Seriously, I'm actually impressed by the fact you realize I'm evil due to my finances, instead of just looking blatantly evil I do on a daily basis. Sorry, that dude Moneybags really F's up my throat really bad. He scratched the back of his neck. Even I can't believe I'm not in jail. Says wonders about the equestrian system security, huh? Twilight grabbed the daggers of Moneybags. How can he be so heartless, you horrible monster? Easy, I'm an economist. Silence. Like I'm willing to close any studies in economics, I could be one of them. All by myself. No pony forced me, and I like my job. When Twilight talked to her, her voice was horrified. Dear Celestia, that explains everything. Indeed. I'm actually impressed you don't feed the blood off of the innocent. Give it time. But let's leave it to Rarity alone for a second, because we've been neglecting Applejack a lot lately. Just like they had a plan, AJ was too busy looking for Rainbow Dash in the actual casino part of the casino. Poker tables, blackjacks, tables, slot machines, dice, roulettes, snakes and ladders. There were countless games one could play if they wanted to lose all their money. And as apparently wasting fortunes is quite a popular hobby in the city, that meant Applejack was completely surrounded by all kinds of ponies. It was actually kind of hard to move. Every pony walked from the table and without even caring what they looked like or stepping in. It was amazing how even doing that they were managed to look stuck up and physically possible. Applejack figured that her clothes had something to do with it. She never seen many top hat ponies since the day Pinkie Pie thought every pony in Ponyville should look a little bit more like chimneys. The only ones who didn't wear some kind of gigantic hat attire, because of course all the mayors were wearing hats, and of course they were big enough to hide Royal Guards battalions inside, were that countless waiters, all of them carrying around trays with fancy food and drinks in them. How they could manage to walk through the horrible crowds without tripping was a mystery. And of course, Rainbow Dash was nowhere to be seen. Applejack couldn't help but be frustrated. Where the heck is she? She'd been dodging fancy ponies what it felt like for centuries, and that dumb Pegasus was nowhere to be seen. Still, it was going to be expected that she thought, as long as she said nothing, no pony would frit. Frida, ma'am? Hello. Applejack bit her lip and was looking for the waiter in front of her. He had a tray, a bunch of fancy-looking food, and smiling at her. She coughed. Okay, so she really can't talk without being kicked out. She already knew that, but of course there was talking, and then there was more talking. Surely she wouldn't blow this off. It wasn't like a noble pony had 6 cents anyways. So she coughed, and a sweat in her forehead channeled, and entered her Manhattan lady and smiled at the waiter. No thanks, she said. The answer was immediate. The waiter took a step back at her in horror. Countless ponies gasped at the time that she turned around to look at her desk. A noble pony's monocle fell from his face. Somewhere in the distance, a baby started to cry. A lady faintly, dramatically, but every pony was busy staring at Applejack, so no pony could bother catching her. She hit the floor like a sack of bricks. Commoner, someone whispered. I smell it in her fear. Applejack smacked on her forehead. Thump. Ugh. Rainbow Dash hit the floor quite hard, and sadly there wasn't a way to say that she started dancing. The aftermath of her encounter with Spitfire had been depressingly predictable. The two guards had appeared by dragging her without waiting her to protest her. However, this hadn't kicked her out once, and she had been expecting her here. Rather than her brought through the store in her private part of the casino, the one thing that she had lots of signs for was casino personnel only. And that once in there, after walking through the longest corridor ever, they had opened a black door, and then the Rainbow Dash had been unceremoniously thrown inside. Okay. The royal guards will be coming soon. One of the guards and his face were unpredictable. But first, we'd like you to answer some questions. Wait here. Rainbow Dash blinked. Wait, what? The door closed with a bam. Hey! She ran towards the door and knocked it. Hey, don't leave me here, you weirdos. I'm fairly sure that's illegal. No answer. Don't ignore me. What the flying feathers is wrong with you guys? You can't just toss me into a dark room and go in here anyways. Oh, for crying out loud! Rainbow Dash took a couple steps back, glared at her door. You want to do this the hard way? Then we'll do this the hard way. It's like in a TV series, I remember that. She shook her head a couple times, wiggled her butt, and then charged against the door with all of her strength. I'm pretty sure that door's rated real full steel, Moneybags said. Yes, Twilight slowly nodded. Yes, it is. A plunk, and then a pause. Ah! And then she didn't break anything. Dash is surprisingly tough, yes. Plunk. Dear Celestia, this hurts even more. Wait, she tried to tackle that door down again? Dash is wonderfully brave, and extremely loyal and dependable, undoubtedly one of the best ponies I've ever met. But I never said that she was smart exactly, Twilight said. Yes, I've realized that, Moneybags says. For crying out loud. Even the pink one seems smarter, judging by what you're telling me. Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure she's not this. Twilight bit her lip. Hot-blooded, usually. It's just that she doesn't work well with peer pressure. Obviously. 20 minutes later and 7 tries later, Dash had finally calmed down, and then the door remained unscratched. So she was just shook, her head had glared daggers and painting. Says, well, you're a lucky day, and I didn't have a mom with me. She screamed. Because let me tell you something. Trapping a pony here as terrorists inside your building is the stupidest idea ever. No answer. Dash huffed. Okay then. So, she turned around the eyes and eyed the room for the first time. I'm a prisoner. Hooray. There weren't a lot of things in the walls. Boring ceilings, boring floor, and a rope hanging from the ceiling right next to the chair, swinging anonymously. Well, that's extremely disturbing, she said. Then she squinted. And it gives me an idea. Sadly, trying to whip down to the door, completely unsuccessful, Rainbow Dash learned the valuable lesson that day. She is not daring do. Twilight shook her head. This isn't even the seventh time she learns in one hit. We hope 8 stick chances, but what a... And then it says, how does one even know? Whips it. And then what's it say? There it is. Whips down towards it like that. Dash doesn't really know the logic that she works on how might cool things look. Whisk. Well, whips are pretty cool. I'll give you that. At this point, we will go back to Rarity, whose conversation with Moneybags has suddenly turned into a private one. Once the Revenge Seeker's anonymously mare was dragged away, the crowd had turned it aside to talk about her in the offended whispers, and Moneybags had used this distraction to walk away with Rarity. Well, he said, chuckling, that was unexpected. Why, indeed, Rarity replied, but not really unexpected, was it? It couldn't be all-powerful without annoying enemies. And nowadays, no pony is powerful than you, And then Moneybags smirked, and Rarity smirked back because social interactions in nobility circle were at least 20% smirkier. But Rarity did something more alongside her smirk, and she battered her eyelashes a little bit. And then there were silences. Now many things have been said about Rarity's eyelashes. Something that they were out of this world, something that are just really, really long. Applejack thinks they're very super freaky. And every single stallion out there, let's be honest, many mares think that they are. Are you really going to finish the sentence? Twilight frowned. Maybe I shouldn't. And it says, I'm fairly sure I know every single stallion out there thinks about your friend's eyelashes, yes? Moneybags said. He coughed a little bit, and a little bit of pink appeared on his cheeks. Just a little bit. In fact, you can skip the whole thing entirely. Really, I was there. I knew what happened. Yes, sure. Twilight smirked. Of course. That's why it's an incredible sensitive topic. And to be honest, I would like to think rude for me to ignore your topics, right? I'll skip the part there if you want me to. Silence. Moneybags perked up his ear. Really? No. To put in what happened right afterwards would be almost unfair to Rarity, such as the things that have been seen to believe. However, fear not. As though we are going to explain the whole thing an hours in the tail later if we were going to dwell for hours. I gotta get the string. Better. And it says, this is the part where I remind you your friend's a hostage, right? Moneybags blinks.